A promising young student's life was tragically cut short over a dispute involving a cat. Tamilore Odunsi, known as Tammy, was a bright British Nigerian studying veterinary medicine in London. Her passion for animals and her warm spirit made her well loved among friends and family. Yet, a conflict centered on a scrappy, one-eyed tabby named Simba would lead to a heartbreaking end. How could a disagreement about a cat escalate to murder? What events unfolded in the flat that night to bring such a devastating outcome? These questions pull us into a story that challenges our understanding of how everyday tensions can turn deadly. Have you ever experienced a conflict that seemed small but grew beyond control? Or witnessed how unresolved issues can damage relationships? Tammy's story is a powerful reminder that even the most ordinary situations can carry hidden risks when emotions run high. Tonight, we explore the life of Tamilore Odunsi, the events leading to her death, and the mystery that still surrounds the case. This is not just a tale of tragedy, but a call to reflect on how we handle conflict and the importance of empathy in our daily lives. If you believe that small disputes can have serious consequences, please like this video, subscribe to True Crime, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your engagement helps keep stories like Tammy's alive and encourages us all to learn from them. Tammy's story begins with hope and promise, a young woman driven by a dream to care for animals and make a difference. But beneath the surface of her daily life, tensions were quietly building. Living with 3 other students in a shared flat, differences in personality and lifestyle slowly created cracks in their once close bond. At the center of these tensions was Simba, the cat Tammy rescued and cared for. What seemed like a simple act of kindness became the source of conflict, testing friendships and patience. How could a cat become the cause of such deep divisions? And how did these divisions lead to a tragedy that shocked a community? As we follow this story, consider your own experiences with conflict. Have you ever seen a small disagreement grow into something much larger? What might have been done differently to prevent a loss like this? This video will take you through the events that led to Tammy's death, the investigation that followed, and the unanswered questions that remain. It's a story that reminds us all of the fragile nature of peace and the importance of understanding one another. Before we continue, don't forget to like this video if you find value in these stories, subscribe for more real crime tales, and comment below with your thoughts. Your participation helps build a community that learns from the past and supports one another. Stay with us as we uncover the shocking fate of Tamilore Odunsi, a story that challenges us to look deeper at the consequences of conflict and the power of compassion. Tamilore Odunsi, affectionately called Tammy by those close to her, was a young woman whose life was marked by kindness, determination, and a deep love for animals. Born in Lagos, Nigeria, she grew up in a family that valued education and compassion. Her mother, Dr. Tamilore Odunsi, was a respected academic who later accepted a research position in London, prompting the family's move to the United Kingdom when Tammy was 12 years old. Adjusting to a new country and culture was a challenge, but Tammy embraced it with resilience. She quickly adapted to her new environment, excelling in school and making friends from diverse backgrounds. Fluent in both Yoruba and English, she was able to connect with people from different walks of life, earning admiration for her warmth and openness. Tammy's passion for animals was evident from a young age. Growing up in Lagos, she often cared for stray animals, nursing them back to health whenever she could. This compassion inspired her to pursue veterinary medicine at the University of London's College of Veterinary Medicine. Her dream was to become a veterinarian and dedicate her life to helping animals in need. At university, Tammy was known not only for her academic achievements, but also for her generous spirit. Friends described her as someone who would go out of her way to support others, whether by offering a listening ear or lending a helping hand. Her flatmates often said that her presence brought warmth and comfort to their shared home. Tammy shared her Camden flat with 3 other students: Aisha Bello, a British Ghanaian law student known for her sharp mind and attention to detail; Oliver Grant, a reserved history major from Manchester who preferred quiet and solitude; and Priya Patel, a lively medical student from Leicester with a bubbly personality. Together they formed a group that, despite their differences, managed to support each other through the challenges of university life. Life in the Camden flat was a blend of different personalities and routines. Tommy's compassionate nature often stood out, especially in how she cared for animals and supported her friends. Her flatmates appreciated her kindness, though their varied lifestyles sometimes led to small disagreements. Aisha, with her sharp focus on law studies and a preference for order, often found herself at odds with Tammy's more relaxed approach to shared living. Oliver, the quiet history student, preferred to keep to himself, avoiding conflict whenever possible. Priya, full of energy and social spirit, often acted as the bridge between the others, trying to maintain harmony. Despite these differences, the four students shared a bond forged through late-night study sessions, shared meals, and the ups and downs of university life. Tommy's love for animals was a common thread that brought moments of joy to the flat, especially when she rescued injured birds or cared for stray cats. Her dedication to veterinary medicine was more than just a career choice. It was a calling. Tommy's dream was to make a difference in the lives of animals inspired by her childhood experiences in Lagos. She often spoke about her hope to open a shelter one day, a place where animals could find safety and care. Friends and family remembered Tammy as someone who radiated warmth and hope. Her smile could brighten a room, and her determination inspired those around her. She was a young woman with a future full of promise, taken too soon. As we explore the events that led to her tragic death, it's important to remember the person behind the headlines. A compassionate student, a loyal friend, and a passionate animal lover whose life touched many. Simba was no ordinary cat. On a rainy November evening, Tamilore Odunsi found him shivering beneath a parked car, his left eye swollen shut and his fur matted. Without hesitation, Tammy scooped up the injured tabby and brought him home, determined to nurse him back to health. For Tammy, rescuing Simba was a natural extension of her lifelong compassion for animals. Bringing Simba into the shared flat in Camden introduced a new dynamic among the four students living there. Tommy's flatmates each had their own feelings about the cat. Aisha Bello, a British Ghanaian law student, struggled with a mild allergy to cats, which made Simba's presence difficult for her. Oliver Grant, a reserved history major, was mostly indifferent but preferred a quiet living space. Priya Patel, a lively medical student, quickly grew fond of Simba, often sharing photos of him on social media. At first, the flatmates tried to accommodate each other's needs. Tommy made efforts to keep Simba out of Aisha's room, and Priya helped care for the cat. However, as days passed, small annoyances began to pile up. Simba's fur found its way onto clothes, and his curious nature led to broken items and disrupted routines. What started as minor irritations soon became sources of tension. Simba was more than just a pet to Tommy. He represented her kindness and her desire to protect those who could not protect themselves. But to others in the flat, Simba became a symbol of conflict, a reminder of the growing divide between Tommy and her flatmates. As days turned into weeks, the presence of Simba continued to affect the atmosphere in the flat. Aisha's allergy made it increasingly difficult for her to tolerate the cat's constant presence. She often found herself sneezing or feeling uncomfortable, which added to her growing frustration. Despite Tommy's efforts to keep Simba away from Aisha's personal space, the cat's curious nature made this a challenge. Oliver, while not directly involved in the disputes, preferred to avoid the tension altogether. He spent more time in his room, keeping to himself and steering clear of the arguments that were becoming more frequent. Priya, on the other hand, remained a supporter of Tommy and Simba, often trying to lighten the mood with her cheerful attitude and social media posts featuring the cat. The small disagreements over Simba's behavior, fur on clothes, broken items, and disrupted routines, began to reflect deeper issues within the flat. The cat became a focal point for frustrations that extended beyond the animal itself. It was a symbol of the clash between different personalities, lifestyles, and expectations. For Tammy, Simba was a source of comfort and a reminder of her purpose. Caring for the cat gave her a sense of fulfillment amid the pressures of university life. But for others, Simba represented a disruption, a challenge to their sense of order and peace. This growing divide set the stage for the conflicts that would follow. Simba was no longer just a rescued cat. He had become a catalyst for tension, testing the bonds of friendship and patience among the flatmates. Life in the Camden flat, once filled with shared laughter and support, began to change as tensions over Simba grew. What started as small disagreements soon became frequent arguments, each one adding strain to the fragile peace among the 4 students. Isha's frustration was clear. Her allergy made living with Simba difficult, and the cat's habit of wandering into her personal space only made matters worse. One evening, she returned home to find Simba curled up on her freshly laundered clothes. The sight sparked a sharp confrontation with Tommy, who promised to keep the cat away but struggled to control Simba's curious nature. The flatmates' different backgrounds and personalities added fuel to the fire. Aisha's meticulous nature clashed with Tammy's more relaxed approach to cleanliness and boundaries. Oliver, who valued solitude, found himself caught in the middle but chose to withdraw rather than confront. Priya, ever the peacemaker, tried to mediate, but her efforts often fell short as emotions ran high. Arguments over Simba became a symbol of deeper issues: respect, personal space, and the challenges of living with others who have different expectations. The once close-knit group began to drift apart, each member feeling isolated in their own way. One particular incident highlighted the growing divide. Simba, exploring the flat as usual, knocked over a cherished vase in the living room, shattering it on the floor. The noise startled everyone, but it was Aisha who reacted most strongly. She saw the broken vase as a sign of carelessness and disrespect, directing her anger toward Tammy. The argument that followed was heated, with accusations and hurt feelings exchanged. Tammy, already emotionally drained from the ongoing disputes, felt unfairly targeted. She tried to explain that Simba was not intentionally destructive, but her words fell on deaf ears. The tension in the flat thickened, making it harder for anyone to find common ground. The emotional toll of these conflicts weighed heavily on everyone, especially Tommy. The constant arguments left her feeling isolated and misunderstood. Despite her efforts to keep the peace, the growing hostility made the flat feel less like a home and more like a battleground. Priya, recognizing the strain on her friends, stepped in as a mediator. She tried to ease tensions by encouraging open communication and reminding everyone of their shared goals. Her cheerful nature and willingness to listen helped at times, but the underlying issues remained unresolved. Oliver, meanwhile, chose a different path. Preferring to avoid confrontation, he withdrew further into himself. He spent more time in his room, distancing himself from the conflicts and the emotional weight they carried. His silence spoke volumes about the impact the situation was having on the group. The cultural differences among the flatmates also played a role in the escalating tensions. Each brought their own expectations and ways of handling conflict, which sometimes clashed. What one saw as a minor issue, another viewed as a serious breach of respect. These misunderstandings added layers to the disputes, making resolution even more difficult. As the arguments continued, the flatmates found themselves caught in a cycle of frustration and hurt feelings. The presence of Simba, once a source of joy, had become a constant reminder of their differences and the challenges of shared living. Have you ever experienced conflicts with roommates or housemates that seemed to grow beyond control? How did you handle the situation? Share your stories in the comments below. Your experiences might help others facing similar challenges. The story of Tammy and her flatmates is a powerful example of how small issues, if left unaddressed, can escalate and affect relationships deeply. It reminds us of the importance of communication, empathy, and respect in any shared living situation. The evening air in the Camden flat was thick with tension. Tommy had just returned from a long day at the animal shelter, her body weary and her mind heavy. The weight of the ongoing disputes over Simba pressed on her, making it difficult to find peace even within her own home. She hoped for a quiet night, a chance to rest and recharge. but the atmosphere was far from calm. Aisha was already in the kitchen, her frustration evident in the tight set of her jaw and the sharpness in her voice. Earlier that day, Simba had once again found his way into Aisha's room, leaving behind a trail of fur and a broken vase. The small mess was the latest in a series of incidents that had pushed Aisha to her limit. When Tommy entered, the air between them crackled with unspoken grievances. Voices rose quickly as they confronted each other, the argument growing more heated with every word. Old frustrations resurfaced, and accusations were exchanged. The flatmates' earlier attempts at peace seemed distant memories. Priya, sensing the danger of the situation, stepped in to calm the rising storm. Her pleas for understanding and patience momentarily softened the tension, but the damage had been done. The argument reached a breaking point. In a sudden burst of anger, Aisha stormed out of the flat, slamming the door behind her. The sound echoed through the quiet hallway, leaving a heavy silence in its wake. Tommy, shaken and tearful, retreated to her room, clutching Simba close. The cat, sensing her distress, nestled against her, offering a small comfort in the midst of chaos. What followed that night remains a mystery. Neighbors later reported hearing a commotion, prompting one to call the authorities. When police arrived, they found Tammy unconscious in her room with Simba hiding under the bed. Despite the efforts of paramedics, Tammy was pronounced dead at the scene. The police quickly secured the scene, beginning their initial investigation. The flat, once a place of shared dreams and companionship, now felt heavy with unanswered questions. Officers noted the absence of signs of forced entry or a struggle, deepening the mystery surrounding Tammy's death. A ceramic figurine from Tammy's desk, shattered and stained, was found near her body. Forensic analysis later revealed that it had been used as the weapon. The only fingerprints on the object belonged to Tammy and an unknown individual, adding another layer of complexity to the case. Neighbors and friends were left grappling with disbelief. How could a dispute over a cat lead to such a tragic outcome? The police interviewed the flatmates, neighbors, and friends, piecing together the events leading up to that fateful night. Suspicion initially fell on Aisha, given the recent arguments and her abrupt departure from the flat. However, the investigation revealed other troubling details. Tammy had been receiving threatening messages on social media in the weeks before her death. These messages accused her of stealing Simba and warned her to give him back or else. The police traced the messages to a local animal rights activist, Marcus Reed, who had previously clashed with Tammy over her involvement with the animal shelter. Though questioned, Marcus denied any involvement, and no concrete evidence linked him to the crime. The case soon became a source of speculation and rumor. Some believed Aisha's frustration had turned violent, while others suspected Marcus or even suggested the tragedy was an accident. The truth remained elusive. As the investigation stalled, the community mourned. Vigils were held in Tammy's memory, and students demanded answers. The Nigerian community in London grieved the loss of one of their own, while Tammy's family struggled to come to terms with their heartbreak. This tragic night serves as a stark reminder of how quickly life can change. It challenges us to consider the consequences of unresolved conflict and the importance of seeking help before tensions reach a breaking point. What do you think happened that night? Who do you believe is responsible? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. Your voice helps keep Tammy's story alive and encourages a conversation about the dangers of unchecked conflict. Following the tragic death of Tamilore Odunsi, the police launched a thorough investigation to uncover the truth behind the shocking event. The flat where Tammy lived became a focal point for detectives as they sought to understand the circumstances that led to her untimely death. Initial inquiries focused on the flatmates, especially Aisha Bello, given the recent arguments and her sudden departure from the flat on the night of the incident. Investigators interviewed Aisha extensively, seeking to determine her whereabouts and state of mind during the critical hours. Despite the tension between her and Tammy, Aisha maintained her innocence, insisting she had no involvement in the tragedy. Forensic evidence played a crucial role in the investigation. The ceramic figurine found near Tammy's body was identified as the weapon used in the attack. Fingerprints on the object belonged only to Tammy and an unidentified individual, raising questions about who else might have been present that night. As the investigation progressed, various theories emerged about who might be responsible for Tammy's death. Some believed that Aisha's frustration and anger had escalated beyond control, leading to a violent confrontation. Others pointed to Marcus Reed, convinced that his obsession with animal welfare had taken a dangerous turn. There were even suggestions that the tragedy might have been an accident, the result of a heated argument gone wrong. The community's reaction was one of shock and sorrow. Vigils were held in memory of Tammy, drawing students, friends, and members of the Nigerian community in London. These gatherings were moments of collective mourning and calls for justice, as people sought answers and closure. Tommy's family struggled to come to terms with their loss, while friends grappled with the unanswered questions surrounding her death. The university community was left reeling, demanding transparency and action from the authorities. Despite the efforts of the police, the case remained unresolved. The lack of definitive evidence and the conflicting accounts made it difficult to reach a conclusion. The mystery surrounding Tommy's death continued to weigh heavily on those who knew her and the wider community. This unresolved case serves as a reminder of the complexities involved in seeking justice and the impact such tragedies have on communities. It highlights the importance of support, understanding, and the ongoing search for truth. The story of Tamilore Odunsi did not end with her tragic death. Her legacy continues to inspire and impact many, serving as a reminder of the power of compassion and the importance of standing up for what we believe in. In the years following her passing, scholarships have been established in Tammy's name to support students pursuing veterinary medicine and animal welfare. These scholarships honor her dedication to helping animals and her dream of making a difference in their lives. Through these efforts, Tammy's passion lives on, encouraging others to follow in her footsteps and carry forward her mission. Simba, the cat at the center of the tragedy, found a new home with Priya, one of Tammy's flatmates. Priya vowed to care for Simba and keep Tammy's memory alive through her continued kindness to the cat. Simba's presence serves as a living symbol of Tammy's compassion and the bond she shared with the animals she loved. Tammy's story also offers important lessons about the fragility of life and the consequences of unresolved conflicts. What began as a small disagreement escalated into a tragedy that affected many lives. It reminds us that even the most ordinary situations can carry risks when emotions are left unchecked and communication breaks down. The importance of empathy and understanding cannot be overstated. In shared living situations, differences in personality, culture, and expectations can lead to misunderstandings. Taking the time to listen, respect boundaries, and address issues early can prevent conflicts from growing beyond control. Community support plays a vital role in healing and moving forward after such losses. The vigils, memorials, and ongoing conversations about Tammy's life and death have brought people together, fostering a sense of solidarity and shared purpose. These moments of connection help transform grief into action and hope. As we reflect on Tammy's legacy, we are reminded of the enduring power of kindness and the impact one person can have on the lives of many. Her story challenges us to be more compassionate, to seek understanding, and to work toward a world where conflicts are resolved peacefully. If you found value in Tammy's story and the lessons it teaches, please consider subscribing to True Crime Realm. By joining our community, you'll gain access to more stories that not only captivate, but also offer meaningful insights into human nature and the importance of empathy. Don't forget to share this video to help raise awareness about the consequences of unresolved conflict and the need for compassion in our daily lives. Your support helps keep stories like Tammy's alive and encourages others to learn and grow from them. Together, we can honor Tammy's memory by promoting understanding, kindness, and justice in our communities. The story of Tamilore Odunsi is one that stays with us long after the details have been told. A young woman full of promise, taken too soon, her life reminds us of the delicate balance between hope and tragedy. Through her story, we see how small conflicts, if left unresolved, can lead to devastating consequences. Tommy's passion for animals, her kindness, and her determination to make a difference continue to inspire those who knew her and many beyond. Her legacy lives on not only through scholarships and advocacy, but also in the hearts of those who remember her smile and spirit. As we close this chapter, it's important to reflect on the lessons her story offers. Conflict is a part of life, but how we handle it can change everything. Communication, empathy, and respect are essential tools in preventing misunderstandings from turning into something far worse. We encourage you to carry these lessons into your own life. Whether in your home, workplace, or community, strive to listen and understand before reacting. Small acts of kindness and patience can make a world of difference. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Tommy's story. If you found this video meaningful, please like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us continue to bring stories that not only captivate, but also teach valuable life lessons. We invite you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. How have you dealt with conflict in your life? What steps do you think can help prevent tragedies like this? Your voice adds to the conversation and helps build a community focused on learning and growth. Stay tuned for more stories that explore the complexities of human nature and the power of compassion. Together, we can honor those we've lost by working toward a more understanding and caring world. Until next time, take care and remember, every life matters, and every story has something to teach us.